This is my video for the 2.5 culminating event topic. I've chosen poverty in American schools. As I look across a school that I teach in of 950 primary students, I see students from all different backgrounds, but mostly in socioeconomic status. Even though I teach in a primarily white school, the majority of students there qualify for a free or reduced lunch every year. That makes them part of the poverty population in Allen County. According to the latest U.S. Census Bureau, in Allen County, the 3,077 people were living in poverty, and that's 16.77% of the population. And that's what brings this multicultural issue home to me. These are the children I work and see with every day. It makes it important to me to see what is out there, how I can be a better resource for these children and a better teacher for them, and reaching out to them in the school system and helping them to be better learners and a good contributor of society, as I believe that they all can be. As I was doing my research, I noticed there was a lot of documentation on poor children having developmental delays, problems with communication, senses of being isolated, dropping out of school, becoming teen parents, and I really thought, what is there that we can do? You hear the statistics and you hear the things at school that I hear every day of, we don't need to hold that child back because they'll just be a dropout later on if they're too old when they're in school. And it's usually the kids who come from families that don't have the money or resources for things. And I think that can be overcome. And I think you've got to have most importantly, two things in place. The right kind of teachers and the school systems that support those teachers. I don't think it's necessarily the children themselves. They can't help where they're coming from at all, but it's more of where the children are and who they are taught by. So I was looking at these articles and researching them. Most of the articles were about equipping teachers. It wasn't about changing the children or making them any different. It's how can we reach out to those children who can't really help themselves, and that's really where they come from. Having highly qualified teachers. I was reading an article that was talking about what parents wanted from their teachers, and it was interesting because they stated that it was in a high poverty, low economic status, and the study took these parents who had high poverty, and they wanted teachers who were going to help their children learn, not necessarily just help their children feel better or have a good self-esteem. And so that was their reasoning for wanting good teachers. It wasn't because they were nice to my kid, is that they helped them grow as a learner. And it comes down from the higher levels of getting professional development for teachers, allowing them to be trained adequately, but also teachers who are wanting to do it. You can't just implement that in a school and expect every teacher to bow into whatever that PD was for. You have to have teachers who are willing to do that and to reach out to those students. It was interesting that this one study noted that all students can succeed, was the belief of these teachers. They had high expectations. The collaboration, which is really important right now with RTI being implemented in the school. Teachers accept the role for their students' success or failure. They're the ones who are doing that. They aren't blaming the children. Assigning the staff important to the kids who need it, the staff who can work with those kids. A dedication to diversity and equity within the school, making sure that those teachers who are qualified are reaching out to those students who need it the most. And I noticed as I was researching that a couple of programs stood out. Obviously, Title I which is a funding program, and we have that in our school system. And without Title I funding, we wouldn't have extra resources and teachers in our building to work with those children who need it the most. And that has been the most influential in the things that those kids are doing by having, and I know money doesn't answer the problem, but it helps to have more resources out there available. One school that I was studying, that I was looking at was Emerald Elementary, and they was interesting. They were a high poverty school, and the children, but they didn't have access to a lot of things. It was all about teachers and their ability and willingness to be trained by the children. To be trained to give to the children, and they shared the responsibility for that. They didn't have technology. They didn't even have they had 3 computers in the whole school, and so it wasn't money that solved the problems. It was the teachers and what they used and the resources they had that were available for them. And also read a study about a author who was wanting to begin this program called the High Perform School. His name was Stanley Pogro, and it was a research study only. It's listed in my article. It's not implemented yet. He was looking for teachers to be willing to do it. And you can look at the research that was in my review that's for that. And I really think those are the best issues and the best things that came out of doing all these research. There was a multitude of articles out there about things about high poverty schools. It was hard to find things for rural areas, is where I work more, was for urban schools. And so I kind of had to do a little bit of thinking on my own on would that work in a school system that I have. But I've enjoyed doing this research. I'm glad I got to pick something that was positive and that was affecting something that I deal with every day. Thank you.